everybody wants to get united. Like, what we gotta do is meet everybody on 149th Street at the bench.
Finding your own voice, your own style in just about any art form can be an extremely difficult process. So in today's video, I want to give you guys a few tips that'll help you develop your own graffiti style. So for us to develop our own style, we first have to understand exactly what style is. And we can easily define it as style is the exaggeration of the fundamentals while maintaining the integrity of the fundamental. In other words, you can exaggerate the fundamentals however you want, so long as the fundamental remains correct. So a quick example would be, you could draw the letter G however you'd like, but when you're done, it should still look and function like the letter G. Now the reason it's so important to define this is because the definition of a mistake is very similar to the definition of style. The definition of a mistake as far as art is concerned, the exaggeration of the fundamentals while not maintaining the integrity of the fundamentals. But what exactly are the fundamentals? The fundamentals come to us in the form of a little topic known as the 3 pillars of art. And the 3 pillars of art are 3 different categories of fundamentals that allow for art's existence. The very first pillar is what's known as the elements of art, and this one consists of line, shape, form, value, space, color, and texture. And this is where the majority of every single artist, no matter the art form you do, this includes graffiti, this is where the majority of your skill, knowledge, and progress is going to come from. The more you study and practice the elements of art, the better your foundation will be to draw anything. Because in order for anybody to draw anything, you have to use at least one, if not any combination of the 7 elements of art. From there, the second pillar of art is the art form specific fundamentals, and this is a list of basics that governs, defines, and categorizes any particular art form. Every single art form has art form specific fundamentals, otherwise it could not exist to begin with. So for graffiti, that's going to be letter structure, negative space management, letter name weight, letter name positioning, and flow, which we have tutorials on all those right up here, and we actually recently just released a book, which is the only book on the market that teaches all of those topics. You can find it in the description down below. Now the last pillar of art is technique, and technique simply refers to how you go about producing your artwork. So what tools you use, and once again, how you make the art. To give an example of this, something like cross-hatching or stippling would be a technique. Flaring your spray paint is another example of a technique. But also, the planning phase of an image can also be a technique. For example, setting up a grid for a portrait, or gathering certain references and organizing them in order to help you facilitate ideas would also contribute to the final product, and as a result, it would fall under technique. Now the thing about techniques is these are largely up to you. It depends on what mediums you want to use and how you want to use them. So there's a lot of freedom with this third pillar here. So all 3 of these pillars come together in order to make every single art form, and it's by studying and practicing all 3 of these pillars that you'll begin to learn the fundamentals, and as a result, you'll begin to cultivate a style. But you won't really be able to control, create, or really have a style to begin with until you learn the fundamentals. Style is not something that's innate within any artist. Rather, style is an expression of your knowledge and skill with the fundamentals. Now to begin our journey of making our own style, we're going to want to understand that studying and practicing are 2 different things, and both of them are equally as necessary. The goal here is that we want to begin by studying good, credible information about the various fundamentals. And once we've studied new information, we want to take that to our sketchbooks, and we want to practice that information to make sure that we're kind of burning this into our muscle memory, burning this into our understanding and our comprehension. Once we've learned that, and once we've kind of gotten a feel for it, we can go back and study new information. The goal here should be to continuously gather new, credible information about these fundamentals. And the more you learn those fundamentals, the more capable you're going to become with expressing your style, with finding your style and crafting that style. From there, it's not a bad idea in order to find some inspiration, some people that you like their work. Because really, I mean, we're all drawing because we love to draw, right? And you want to stay invested in this art form. You want to stay interested in the art form. And one of the best ways to do that is to find a target, to find something that you want to aim for and you want to achieve. And oftentimes for a lot of us, that comes from finding an artist we really enjoy and we kind of want to learn how they do what it is they do, so we can do it too. So find somebody that you get inspiration from and analyze what it is they're doing. Now this doesn't mean copy what they're doing. I'm not saying look at their work, do what they do, exactly how they do it, but rather learn why they're making the decisions they're making. Because really, at the end of the day, that's all art is. It's a problem-solving exercise. So the person you admire is faced with certain problems with their graffiti, and they solve it with the lines that they draw. So figure out why they position their letters that way. Why did they put an extension there? Understand the why. And once you understand the why, you can apply that same thinking to your own work. And as a result, you won't be copying them, you won't be biting them, but you'll be learning from them. And that's the important part. Now, using inspiration and learning from other people is great and all, but we all have something unique to bring to the table when it comes to art. So how do we begin to express and explore that? To do this, once you get used to the fundamentals, or if you're more advanced and you already understand the fundamentals, then what you're going to do is you're going to pick and choose specifically what fundamentals you want to exaggerate. And understand, you can pick pick any of the fundamentals we previously talked about: line, shape, form, value, space, color, texture, letter structure, negative space management, letter name weight, letter name positioning, flow, or whatever techniques that you use for your artwork. And once you pick the fundamentals that you want to exaggerate, you want to think about how you're going to exaggerate them. Let's say we went ahead and picked letter structure as the fundamental that we want to exaggerate, and perhaps we want to go ahead and thin our letters down. So now we're working with thinner letters, but we want to do them the same size as we always did. So if we do that, how does that affect the other fundamentals? In this case, because we were doing the letter the same size as we've always done, but we did the letter thinner, that means we're going to have a lot more negative space, which allows us to position our letters much closer together and overlap them a lot more. And just based on that alone, we've suddenly really changed the dynamic of our style. This is something that you can explore. You can do this with each individual fundamental, and you can do this with any combination of every fundamental. And this leads us to an endless possibility of different styles that we can explore. Next up, find different supplies and use those different tools to create art. For me personally, I really enjoy oil paint. I also enjoy digital. You know, I've had my fair share of I've been doing graffiti for over 20 years. I've certainly used my fair share of spray paint and markers, and I get the most satisfaction personally from, once again, oil paint and digital. And these offer up different ways to create art. Maybe you enjoy spray paint a little bit more. Maybe you enjoy watercolors. Whatever it is, test out different supplies. See what you really like using. And those different methods can alter how your stuff looks. And for an example of this, we don't have to look any further than our favorite graffiti artists. A lot of these guys do incredible stuff, and some of them are not more incredible than the other, but they're just incredible in their own ways, in different ways. And that's because they use their tools differently. So experiment with different ways of doing things. And honestly, one of the best things that has helped me, and has helped people that I've taught in the past, is to look to other art forms. So if you're a graffiti artist, look at how portrait artists create. Look at how landscape painters create. That doesn't mean you gotta become a portrait artist or a landscape artist, but rather look at how they use their tools. Maybe you'll learn something from the way that they paint that you can go ahead and take on to the way you paint. Next tip to cultivating your style is to play around with creative ideas even though it might fail. So this one, we gotta kind of break it down a little bit. As we already emphasized in the beginning, you have to learn the fundamentals. Your progress towards your style will be 100% dependent on how much you study and practice the fundamentals. You can't get a style otherwise, but if we split up our practice from our fun drawings, well, now we have a designated place for studying and practicing, and then we have a designated place for testing ideas. And the key with practice is that you're not adding style to any of your practice. The goal here is just to study, analyze, learn, and exercise your fundamentals. That's it. Leave the stylistic stuff for the fun drawings. That's what those are there for. And when we're doing our fun drawings, sky's the limit. You could do whatever it is you'd like, but understand, go into this not really caring about the quality, but caring about having fun and trying things out. This right here is where you're going to exaggerate the fundamentals, and you might end up with something that's a stylistic change, or you might end up with a mistake. Remember, the difference between the two is a very fine line. Many of those ideas are going to fail, some of them are going to succeed. What you're going to end up finding is that once you split up your practice from your fun drawings, you're going to begin progressing in your practice, and that progress is going to begin to show itself in your fun drawings. And this process takes time. So the last tip is to be patient. And this one really, I mean, it sounds obvious, it sounds cliche, but I can tell you right now, there's a bunch of people in my Instagram DMs that are contacting me asking, John, I've been practicing for a year, 2 years, and I'm just not finding my style. How do I do this? The answer is patience. It takes time. Remember, before you can even cultivate your own style, you have to learn the fundamentals first, and that takes time, especially if you haven't already split up your fun drawings from your practice. Well, friends, those are some tips in order to help you find your style. Hopefully you found it useful. If you got any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to get started learning the fundamentals, once again, remember, we got that book in the description. It teaches you everything you have to know about graffiti's art form specific fundamentals. It's the only book in the market that does that. But on top of that, we also have the best how to do graffiti playlist right up here with more graffiti content right down here. And I'll catch you guys back here next week. Thanks for watching.